There's nothing real about wrestling anymore. It's all fake. I'm Andrei Mincov, the founder of Trademark Factory, and in this video I'm going to share my thoughts about yet another trademarking screw-up. This time around, it's WWE going after someone who's trying to trademark Sister Abigail. Let me read it from the article, and you can always find the link in the description below. WWE opposes Sister Abigail trademark. One day before the USPTO's March 20th deadline, WWE has filed to oppose independent wrestler Redavid Hunanyan's Sister Abigail trademark. Now, it's totally not uncommon for oppositions to come in the very last day. It's almost like a tradition with lawyers. They always do things on the deadline, or maybe a few minutes before the deadline. And some of it is to piss off the other side, but also it's just the way the law firms have worked, right? Deadlines are deadlines for both. So anyway, there's nothing unusual in opposing on the last day. In June 2018, Hunanyan applied to trademark Sister Abigail for use in professional wrestling after WWE abandoned its application to obtain the trademark. On March 19th, WWE officially contested Hunanyan's attempt at securing the Sister Abigail name, claiming that Hunanyan didn't create the Sister Abigail character and has consequently attempted to usurp the intellectual property of WWE. Hunanyan was an extra for WWE in 2016 and 2017 and expressed a desire to portray the WWE Sister Abigail character in WWE programming. Attorneys for WWE wrote in their notice of opposition. Hunanyan never portrayed the WWE Sister Abigail character and is now attempting to usurp WWE's intellectual property by filing the Sister Abigail application. Moreover, WWE has claimed that given the fact that WWE's Sister Abigail intellectual property is exactly the same as Hunanyan's trademark, and that WWE's Sister Abigail and Hunanyan's version both reside within the same industry, the duplication would no doubt cause confusion to consumers. Well, duh. Same name, same industry, kind of makes sense. This is how trademarks work. By applying for a mark that is identical in sight, sound, and commercial meaning to opposer's Sister Abigail mark in connection with identical services as those provided by opposer, counsel for WWE wrote, applicants applied for mark in the Sister Abigail application is likely to cause confusion among consumers as to opposer's affiliation and/or sponsorship of applicants' services. Again, makes perfect sense. According to Hunanyan, she fully expected WWE to contest her trademark and seemed unfazed by WWE's notice of opposition. This is where it gets interesting. Here's what she says. It's another new beginning for all of us, Hunanyan told Wrestling Inc. The only difference between what is happening now versus what was happening then is I'm connecting my voice to my actions. I'm going to show everyone just how good and how real this story is. Why is this true? Because I showed up as a nobody, but I remembered that I was somebody. And I'll be damned if anyone ever tries to make me forget, whatever the hell that means. Hunanyan went on to thank the fans that understand her perspective and have supported her in exercising her legal rights on the matter. Love has always been my number one motivating factor behind why I do what I do, and as the old saying goes, love makes us do crazy things. Okay? So let's tell a great story in the way it was meant to be told. For better or worse, it was meant to be, and I wouldn't have it any other way, Hunanyan added. I can't imagine anyone not supporting that. Again, whatever the hell that means. Now, I'll go back to this wonderful interview in a moment, but let me walk you through the way trademarks work. So what's really interesting here is that it's another case of when there's a dead trademark, there's abandoned trademark by WWE, and what's different about it is that most trademark applications or most trademarks that get abandoned, that go dead, are those that are either brands that nobody ever cared about, or they are brands that die together with their owner, right? So a company goes out of business, its trademarks go dead, and there's nobody out there who used to own that brand that would be upset by the new people taking over the brand. That's what usually happens with dead trademarks. But here we have a situation when there's a dead trademark, but the owner of that dead trademark is well alive and kicking. WWE has over 1,700 trademarks, right? So they have a huge portfolio of brands. Some of them are alive, some of them aren't, but this one is a dead trademark by an entity that's out there that has a huge portfolio of IP. So the question is, what do you do then? How do you go about it? Because when both the trademark and the owner are dead, it's clear, right? You're not supposed to hoard a trademark, and you don't get an eternal monopoly over a brand unless you use it. So if the trademark is not in use and the entity is not there anymore, it's clear anybody can have a go at it. Now, the second situation is when you have a dead trademark owned by some obscure company that nobody's ever heard of, their brand nobody's ever heard of, and somebody else comes up and says, well, you're not using this trademark, I will. And again, trademarks are not designed to be hoarded by those who register them. So again, usually anybody who follows through would be able to go out and trademark that brand as their own. Here, we have a situation with a dead trademark owned by a company that a lot of people know, and most people in the industry have some recollection of what Sister Abigail was supposed to be. Now, that is a really interesting issue, because what if somebody else's attempt to trademark that brand does create that perception that there is a license from WWE or authorization from WWE or some other sort of connection. And that's exactly what WWE would have to prove, that they're well known enough and their attempt of starting this character and developing this character is well known enough for anyone or for a lot of people to be confused into thinking that Whin-Yates' character, Whin-Yates' trademark, is somehow authorized by WWE. But we'll see how this goes. But here's the interesting thing, just going back to her interview. It makes absolutely no sense. It's just a bunch of words. And that is telling me that she doesn't really have a good position in terms of law to prove that she is the person entitled to own that trademark. All of this woo-woo stuff and claims to fans to support her in this journey, all of that is great, but that's not going to really help you in a trademark opposition. So she's going to get all this PR now. And you know what this reminds me of? Wrestling. Nothing is real in wrestling, right? Her attempt to get a trademark registered and her attempt now to win the opposition is probably just about as real as the wrestling itself. So if you found this interesting or useful and you're not yet subscribed to this channel, well, subscribe now and click that bell button to get notified whenever the next video goes live. And if you got a brand that you want to protect, whether it has anything to do with wrestling or not, book a call with our strategy advisors, and they'll help you get this process started. Until then, I'll see you in the next video.